So, friends, the topic which we want to discuss today is what is the right age to get married? And this is something that all men think about. What is the right age to get married? This is not a topic that you discuss, a son discusses with his father or mother, maybe with his friends, but eventually you have to decide in your mind at what age is the right age to get married. Take me for example. I'm a classic living example of a man who got married when he was 21. Now, was that the right age to get married? I don't know. At that time, I thought it was because of the circumstances. But today, when I think of it, I think it was not the right age to get married. And it's too early. Let me tell you something about getting married at an early age. Early age marriage was a custom which was done by our ancestors, by our grandfathers, fathers, and forefathers, where there was a joint family. And लड़की 16 साल की हो गई, 17 साल की हो गई, शादी कर दो. लड़का 20-21 साल का हो गया, get married. And they used to arrange the wedding and everything, and nobody had any say in it, neither the girl nor the boy, because they were all living in joint families and they were told to do something, they did it. And because they lived in these joint families, it was all okay and things worked out and carried on. But today, the life that we lead, the fast life, the pace of life, the education level, the intellectual level of girls and boys, and that has happened where they are financially independent, both the women and the men. Do you think what is the right age to get married? Now, friends, the right age, according to me, to get married for a man should be in the range of 30 to 35 years old, because by that time he has decided and chalked his path and his career out and has made sufficient money or is going to make sufficient money to have a family and settle down, to have a family and kids and whatever else. But the girl, on the other hand, starts from 25 to 30, 31, 32 latest, because her body clock is ticking. And if you get married later on in life, your chances probably of having children or conceiving are less. And that's the age at which a woman should get married. But here, it's very important that whether you get married at 30 or 35 or 40 or whatever age, and the girl gets married at 25 or 30 or 35, they both, according to me, should have had experiences in relationships. It could be single, it could be multiple, it could be whatever. But they should have had experiences and heartbreaks in their relationships, because they would get to know what is the kind of partner that would be ideal for them. So it's not that you get married to the first person you fall in love with. Is that relationship going to work eventually? Because I met this boy, I met this girl first time from college or school, we love each other, we got married, and that's the end of it. So the woman has neither had an experience or a relationship with another man, nor the man has had a relationship with another woman. So the chances of, I would say, being unfaithful later on in life increase in that situation, whereas the chances of cheating or unfaithfulness decrease if the woman and the man have already had relationships and have been through those period of breakups and heartbreaks and whatever because they've been through it and they found the man they would like to be with. And women today are also financially independent. They also would look up to a man who is either higher in them in terms of their income status, family, whatever it is, and the man would always look for the woman who is his level or his status, not only economically, financially, but also intellectually. Because ultimately everything ends in companionship. The love and the feeling and the physical part all are good, but after a while they go out of the window. And ultimately it's your companionship, it's your friendliness, it's how friendly you are, how you get along that lasts. Here, I must tell you something. Whenever you get married, you do get married, you must meet the family of the girl, for a man, and especially meet the mother. Because when you meet the mother and you see how the mother is and her temperament, her poise, her relationship, her behavior, her treatment socially, is what your wife is going to be 10, 15, 20 years from now. So it's very important, my friends, to always meet the mother of the girlfriend before you do, because ultimately you're going to marry the mother. So that's what she's going to be 20 years, 30 years down the line. That's very important. So I would recommend this. Believe me, I'm talking out of experience, that this is exactly what happened with me. I got married and I hadn't met the mother. So this is what I'm saying. And I had known my wife for maybe 6 months. She was not from Bombay, she was from Kanpur, and met her. And we started going out, and at that particular time, you know how it is, you're in college, you're out of college, you're just going out, you're having fun. I had a lot of girlfriends, a lot of relationships which I went through, and then suddenly you feel out of the blue this lovely Indian, very looking girl in a sari, in a bouffant, in very long hair, Sharmila Tagore, looking like her, comes into your life and says, I'm fed up with all this, what I'm going around with, and here is a nice Indian looking girl. This is the girl I will take home to mama. And you're only 19 or 20. And then you say, this is a girl I want to get married. You've known her for 6 months. Ultimately reached a stage where I fought with my family to get married, whereas they were all against it, because they said, you're too young, you're only 20, you're only 20, 21, you're going to get married. How can you have your whole life ahead of you? You haven't even settled down in life. No, I want to get married to this girl. This was my... Why did I want to get married to that girl? Because A, she also put a certain amount of peer pressure on me, that she was engaged to somebody else, and if I don't make up my mind now, she's going to get married to somebody else whom she's been engaged to. And at that time, in your youth, you have that ego that nahi, ye kaise ja sakti, main aise shaadi karungi, nahi ja sakti. So I fought with everybody and forced, and we got married. And the net result was, she was the lovely girl, everything was fine. But when you know somebody for only 6 months and you get married and living with her, things are totally different. And I realized that very early in marriage, that this maybe was not the right thing to do, not because she was bad or she was, not anything. She is a lovely woman. She is the mother of my 2 children. And it just didn't have that connection emotionally, mentally, physically. Something was not right. Something somewhere was wrong. And that was the reason why in this 6 months relationship, you don't get to know the person. Then I met her mother. And then I realized that the mother was of a different temperament completely. She was a very nice lady, very humble lady, beautiful lady. But there were certain things which I noticed which I didn't much really appreciate. And then I realized that the daughters are going to be like this. So this is the reason why my marriage lasted for what, I got married in 769 and it ended in 1980 after 2 children. So about 11, 12 years it lasted, and I left the marital home and left for whatever reasons I'll talk about later. And it's something that you don't find in your own home, the mental compatibility, intellectual, physical things that you don't find at your home. Eventually you go and find outside. So you start doing that. When you get tired of eating home food, you go out and have a food outside in a restaurant. So it's similar like that. So that's what happened with me. And basically, me, for example, I'm a very, very romantic, very, very physical kind of person. So unless I know that I am completely okay and satisfied from those angles, I can't really settle down and do that. And here, my friends, let me share with you something very important, which is my take in life, is marriage, a bond, a relationship is the foundation of a good relationship. A solid relationship is your physical relationship. If your physical relationship is compatible for each other, it's a foundation, it's a ground zero, it's a foundation which you lay for your relationship. And once that physical relationship is strong, there's nothing in the world that can rock that boat and spoil it everywhere in life, because that relationship is very, very strong. And that builds the relationship. That's where you start building a relationship. So my friends, please learn and experience that physical compatibility is nothing, it's not a shame anymore to talk about. But a physical compatibility is very important. And here, a very important thing I would like to share with you is you need to communicate with your partner. Sometimes we don't communicate with our partners. We tell them, we ask them. You should sit down and talk to your partner and tell them what are the things that you like, what are the things that you enjoy, which you fantasize, which you like and do. I'm talking of physically. The same way, if the woman is clear and he asks you, what do you like? And you say, this is what I enjoy or like. That relationship becomes so beautiful and strong that you don't look right or left, and you have very strong relationships. Now, let me tell you an experience. This is something that I experienced in my life. Is I meet so many couples whose husbands are very handsome and their wives are average or below average looking, and they are married and they are happy together. Or the wives are beautiful and the husbands are not so good looking, or maybe dark and short or whatever, and they're very happy together. And I used to sit down and wonder, I said, this woman could have got a very handsome man, and this man could have got a beautiful woman. How the hell are these two together? And I started thinking and searching, and I found out that it again boils down to the same thing. A woman who's not so beautiful and knows that she is not so beautiful has only one thing in her ammunition rock found. What is that ammunition? Is that she is not so good looking and she's competing against beautiful women, is that she has to keep her man, husband, boyfriend happy physically, and that's what she does the best. And that's the reason why she gets hold of a very good looking or handsome man, and that satisfies them. Same vice versa goes for the other side. So my friends, this is what I'm saying, and you must have seen this in your real life also, that this portion is very important. Once you build that physical compatibility relation foundation, your marriage strong, and it will weather all the storms that come in your marriage. They do come. You have ups and downs. You have issues. You have jealousies. You have your husband flirting with other women, or your wife flirting with another man. Whatever it is, it weathers all the storm. But the thing is that end of the day, if you feel that she has hurt you at a party, or she's flirted with somebody, or paid special attention to a man, or maybe the man has paid special attention, you should not sit down and sulk and get jealous of that, but sit him down and say, listen, I didn't like what you did today at this party, or the way you behaved with this man. What is the reason behind it? Or she would say, you were flirting with this woman too much today. What's the issue? Did you get her number? Did you get a phone number? What it is? It's happened to me. But then there is a communication gap. There is a miscommunication. There is a slight darar. A crack pad jata hai. Unless you sit down and talk about this thing, that I did this because of this reason, or I did this because of this reason, because something was lacking in your relationship. Something has gone wrong over the period of time, over the period of years. It's gone wrong. And that's why my attention has been divided to another man or another woman. These are all things which you learn now in life at this stage, and that is why, and I have been through many relationships and also a couple of marriages, and today I can sit down and talk because you introspect at this stage that why have I had so many relationships and they haven't worked? Why? And then you sit down and it's very easy, to sit down and blame, oh, she was like that, that's why I broke up with her. She was like this, that's why I left my wife. She did this, that's why I left my wife. No, you're fooling yourself. You're the bloody fool. You are the person at fault for all the relationships that have not worked in your life. And my friends, even you would blame yourself when you introspect and see that you are the cause of why your relationships broke up. And when you introspect and see, if I had done this, discussed with her, talked to her, communicated with her, things may have worked out today. And I feel that at my stage in life that I have wronged all the women that I've had relationships or have been married to. And I am guilty of that. And I accept that, and I apologize for having done or being what I am, because it's very easy to blame the other person. But the fault actually lies with you, because we men most of the time don't think with our minds and our hearts. And you know what I'm talking about. We think with what? We think of only one thing, what attracts you sexually. We only think about that. And that's where we make our biggest mistakes. And it affects the lives of so many people around you, your wife, your children, your friends, your relatives. And that's what this book, which I sat down and read, I did it my way, is about. For all the mistakes that I have made in my life, for my children, for my wife, for my other relationships, for the other women that I've had in my life, that I was at fault for everything that went wrong. And that's it. So, my friends, my take in all this is what I said. I hope I made some sense to you, and I hope you take home whatever I've said to you and think about it and try and implement it. Thank you.